Man, I tell you what, I love my cruise stories the same way I love one of my wife's best attributes. Juicy. Juicy, that's right. We got some juicy cruise stories today. We got a cruiser banned for life for showing off. And we got a cruiser in a fight on a private island. And we've got the whole cruise industry suing a city. That and more on today's cruise show. Let's go. Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to La Little Loca. Welcome to the cruise show. I am your host, Tony, here to talk you through everything going on in cruising. It's the latest going on in cruising for your face. For your face on Friday the 30th of May, 2025. I thought today was the last day of May, but to my excitement, there is a whole nother day in May. I don't even know why that makes me excited. Let's start. Shall we? There's a lot to talk about. Let's talk about the fight that went down at the private island, the world's most premier private island, Royal Caribbean's perfect day at Coco Cay. Man, this thing is crazy. I'm just going to run the video in the background. This story surfaced, this eyewitness account surfaced over on Reddit. Let me give you the highlights. Go to Reddit and find this post if you want. But essentially what happened is Coco Cay has public beaches, but then they also have for-pay beaches. You can pay a lot of beaucoup dollars to get yourself one of them over-the-water bungalows, and it comes with some private service. It comes with a slide down into the water. It's fancy, and it costs a lot of money. And the interesting thing, similar to the days of a smoking and non-smoking section on an airplane, they have a section where the public can swim and a section where only the bungalow people can swim, and the divider is water. And so what happened, the Oasis of the Seas was in, another cruise ship was in, and I guess the people that were swimming for free, the people that paid nada to be on the beach water, they were being carried over into the bungalow water because of the tide. And as you can see from the video, they got a crack team of lifeguards there they got them on the Sea-Doos, the jet skis, and they got them on land. And the jet ski guy, his whole job apparently, which I'm guessing is just to tell the people that are not paying to not float into the for-pay water. And while seemingly the people that paid for the bungalow were not happy with the way that the jet ski guy was doing his job, and they started to curse him. They started to use the F word and tell him he was doing a horrible job, and people just kept floating into their water that they paid for. So finally, the ballers, the people that had paid for the bungalow, they'd had enough. And they were no longer going to rely on the established authority system in place, the lifeguard on the jet ski, to keep law and order in effect. And they went all Batman on it. They went all vigilante. A couple of the dudes, they said one of the guys had a mullet. That's why I used the mullet guy on the thumbnail. This Reddit poster said the two guys jumped into the water and they basically attacked one of the violators, a bald-headed gentleman that had floated into the for-pay water. And they were tussling and rustling with him, seemingly pulling him under the water. And then the guy that floated into the for-pay water had enough and punched him. And so I guess a little bit of a fracas over the imaginary line between public water and for-pay water in the Bahamas. I've had one of those bungalows. They're very expensive. I mean, I remember one time I think there were four of us and we paid $1,500. So that's a lot just to go have a bungalow. But I don't think any part of me would have been upset if some stranger would have floated into the water in front of our bungalow. Maybe there's, I don't know. We don't really know what the resolution is other than, security was there. I don't know if these people were banned for life. Certainly, what do you think? People that inadvertently float into for-pay water, should they be banned? I don't think that. But I do think maybe the people that jumped into the water and attacked those people probably should be banned. That's cruising, baby. That's cruising, baby. Cruising on a Friday. The second story is an interesting story also. We've got the Cruise Line International Association. This is the organization that represents a majority of the cruise lines. I think they represent into the 90 percentile of all cruising and cruise ships. They are the mouthpiece for the cruise industry, the advocacy group, the lobbying group for the cruise industry, where they're suing a city in Alaska. Last year, lawmakers in Skagway, Alaska, decided to change the way that they tax tours, excursions. It's convoluted, and so I'm not an expert at this, but it seems that before this new law was passed, they were taxing the tour operators the cost of the tour. Now, this is just the flat cost, but apparently when the cruise line engages a local tour company, then they put a whole nother fee on top of it that is charged to the customers, which includes some sort of commission fee. None of that had previously been taxed. That's the way they've been operating between the city and the cruise line. And this new ordinance says, look, we're going to tax all of the money. So whatever the local tour operator charges, we're going to tax that. And then whatever, commissionable fees that the cruise line lays on top of that, we're going to start taxing that also. And while the Cruise Line International Association said, not without some sort of litigation, you're not. CLIA said this essentially results in a double taxation, places undue financial strain on cruise guests and Alaska businesses, and they're not too cool with it. And of course, the people that pass the tax said, well, we think it'll be a good tax. It'll streamline the tax process and everything will be treated equally, and we love it. And so I guess it'll be determined in court. The People's Court. Dang. A lot of hubbub in Alaska over cruise passengers, cruise ships coming, cruise ships going. I think what it boils down to at the end of the day, that this is just me looking at the human condition. Anytime people see piles of money, that they could possibly have some part of for some reason, they like to figure out how to do that. It's entrepreneurial, maybe. It's ambitious, maybe. But you follow the money. If you see a pile of money and you feel like you could get part of that bag, people are going to try to get part of that bag. I think it's true in every walk of life. Whether that's sad or not sad, I don't know. But I feel like that's the way it is. That's the way it is. Now, are you guys familiar with the ocean liner named Astoria? This was an ocean liner built in 1948. It had a different name when it was built. It used to be called the Stockholm, and it was involved in a very tragic accident in 1956. Just a few years after it was built, it collided with the Italian ocean liner, the Andrea Doria, and the Andrea Doria sank. This ship has been around for a long time, but the Astoria, for the last 5 years, really since the shutdown, has been docked at a pier in Rotterdam in the Netherlands. The last owner of the ship is the now bankrupt Cruise and Maritime Voyages. So this ship has just been at the dock for 5 years, accumulating docking fees, and now the dock would like to get their money back. So the government has stepped in and they are having an auction. They tried to auction it off in 2023, but they put a reserve on it. You ever been to eBay and you found like somebody's got something listed for $1, and then when you go to bid for it for $1, it's like you haven't met the reserve that's $1,500. That's annoying. So apparently that happened with the Astoria. A few years ago, they tried to auction it off, but they had like a 10 million euro, reserve on it, which nobody paid. Well, now the Netherlands are like, look, we're just tired of messing with this boat, this ship. Let's get this thing off the dock. They're just going to take the highest bidder. So you can put a bid in on it now. If you have any desire to, bid for the Astoria, the bidding is open. Looks like the official auction is taking place on June the 17th. And of course, the profits of this is going to go to pay off the dock bill. I mean, it looks pretty good in this picture, but I don't know, 525 person ocean liner that sank another ocean. It's kind of a bad, it's a bad mamma jamma ship. Look, I got $18 and 2 pounds of hamburger. Do you think that will sway the people selling the ship? We could just make them an offer prior to the auction and close this thing down. What do you think? I'm still feeling a little lightheaded. I had to give blood for my blood work today. I mean, I don't think they take enough where I should be lightheaded, but I had a phlebotomist so nice today that she stuck me twice. I don't think that was the original plan, but we got the blood, and now the blood's being analyzed so that I can find out on Monday whether all my numbers are good. That's the greatest thing about being old. You start worrying about the numbers. The numbers. Check this video out. This is pretty wild. So this video here, somebody's got some sweet Rolling Stones luggage, and they're trying to sneak the alcohol on board. And this whole video that's got about 330,000 views, they chronicle their success. Now, look, the tampon sneaking on the liquor, I don't know, man. That seems like a bridge too far. What are you getting, a shot in there or something? Then they use the shampoo bottles to sneak on the liquor. And at the end of the day, they were very happy and very proud of their attempts to sneak the liquor on board. This video comes from a TikTok account called Courtney Nicole Murley. And she seems like she's fairly popular TikToker. A lot of cool videos out there. Two things I really enjoyed about this video. First, the caption to the video says, definitely waited until after I got home to post this. Ha 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 ha, but it worked. Forget a drink package, lol. Okay, we ended up drinking probably what we would have paid for a drink package anyways, but still was fun to try and see if the rum runners would work. Much success. I'm very proud of her efforts. Favorite comment on this video is from Dorian that said, band letter coming in 3, 2, 1. Boom! This is the band letter that has been making its way around the internet. Carnival watched the video and was impressed with their ability to sneak liquor on board. So impressed that they banned them for life. Courtney got banned for life. It's fun to post on social media. I probably have way too much out there on social media, but you got to be careful. You got to be careful, especially when you are breaking the rules. The cruise lines are hip to social media also, and it looks like Carnival is saying, okay, do whatever you're gonna do, and when you post it on the YouTubes or on the Facebook or the TikTok, we're gonna ban you for life. There's a lot of other cruise lines out there, which makes for an interesting question. Do you think all of the cruise lines should ban Courtney? I'm gonna leave the big question for the day in the first comment. That's gonna give you your chance to participate in the show. Like I said, these cruise stories today were juicy. I feel like I just ate one of, peach. And yeah, subscribe if you want to stay up to date with everything going on in cruising. Thanks for watching today's show. And well, there's nothing left to do but dance. Get up. Get up.